Well, the Eagles are headed to their third ever Super Bowl appearance, first in Super Bowl 39 when they lost to Teddy Bruschi's Patriots in Jacksonville, 24-21. Now they hope to go back and win their first ever Super Bowl and their first ever NFL championship since 1960. They know it'll be tough.
You know, they're going to mix up their looks, whether it's their fronts, their secondary. They're going to, try to mess with your mind a little bit. Good players, good defense. I mean, that's a great team. I mean, we all know them. They're one of the greatest teams of all time throughout the course of the last 20 years. Their defense plays well. They play really well as a team.
Obviously, they're extremely well coached. They've been doing it for a long time in that same scheme for a long time. They play fast. They're able to adjust extremely well in the games. It's going to be hard to beat them on the same play twice because they're able to kind of see what you've done earlier in the game and kind of react to that. So they're extremely disciplined. They got a lot of good players, and it's going to be a very tough test for us.
The obvious things that the Patriots do probably better than anybody is they create the matchups that they want. They get creative with their personnel, their formations, and they'll spread you out to take advantage of a wide receiver on a linebacker, a tight end on a backer that they don't like, or a corner receiver matchup. So for us, we feel good about that. We do a good job of matching personnel, regardless of who you put on the field.
But there's a lot to get to before we get to Super Bowl Sunday. And for more on that, we bring in the man who knows this city of Philadelphia better than anyone, our own Sal Paolantonio. All right, Sal, the city has been electric ever since they took out Minnesota in the NFC Championship game. But there's a lot of work ahead. What is head coach Doug Peterson telling you about the advice he's giving to his team?
Well, Trey, Doug Peterson is not available to the media today, so I texted him early this morning prior to his team meeting, and I said, what will your message to the team be? Because this guy has pushed all the right buttons. He's hit all the right notes as this team has had to pivot from one challenge to the next this season. And here was his text reply early this morning. He said to me, quote, I told him, do what we have been doing all year that got us here. It's still all about us. And I heard from a number of players and coaches that it was total lockdown prep to get ready for Super Bowl 52 against the Patriots. And you can just hear it now in Nick Foles' voice, just how important this moment is to him specifically and this football team.
I don't know if it's really hit me. I've just sort of been staying in the moment in the sense of, just preparing for this game. This is, our next game, a great opponent in the Patriots. And so my mindset, obviously, after the game, that experience, experiencing that with Philadelphia fans, but now it's back to preparing because this is a great game, a great responsibility, and I know we're all focused on, preparing for this game.
A lot of focus, a lot of preparation, a lot of film study, Trey, a few media obligations, but this team right now is locked down, getting ready for the Pats, trying to figure out exactly what kind of game plan they're going to install against the greatest defensive minds probably in the history of the game.
All right, Sal, thanks very much. And don't think that didn't go unnoticed. Did you understand what Sal did there? He's very good at this. Doug Peterson was not available to the media, but I texted him, and he was available to me. That's right. Sal, that's right. You, my man, are a hero. Nicely done. All right, as for things that may play out on Super Bowl Sunday, we saw Nick Foles throwing the ball all over the field, 26 of 33, 352, 3 touchdowns, many of those really big, long passes. Do we think Nick Foles and that offense can get the chunk plays against the Pats like they did against the Vikings?
Absolutely, Trey. So possible for this offense that can also stretch you east and west. I mean, catch and run plays, double moves, play action, those things that they do. That's what I think the Patriots, you can attack them with. Play action, double moves, this defense is susceptible to. You saw Jacksonville, what they did early in the game, how Blake Bortles was using the run-pass options, play action, and the longer the play goes, because the Patriots, here it is, defensively, they're on what you do immediately as the down progresses. However, the secondary reaction, that's where you can get them with play action, misdirection, things like that. That secondary aspect of a play, that's when you have the chance. The Philadelphia Eagles do that very well. They have the receivers that can catch it down the field. And if Foles is protected, he'll have that time to do that.
You mentioned run-pass options. Joe, that was one thing that they did a nice job of in the NFC Championship game. There was balance between the run and the pass. How critical is that going to be against New England?
Well, it's going to be vital. Nick Foles is the best when he has those RPOs going, when he's effective in the run game. That's going to give him the opportunity to buy some time, let those receivers beat the man-to-man coverage from the Patriots, and get some of those chunk plays. And it's really important that they keep feeding the ball to their running backs, because even if it's not working, you can't let the Patriots get you one-dimensional early on in the game.
Yeah, look, to that point, 33 pass attempts for Nick Foles, 30 running attempts for the Eagles. Almost perfect balance in that absolute destruction of, remember, what was the #1 defense in the NFL in the regular season, according to the stats.